Hey everybody, how's the gang today this evening? Y'all happy it's Friday? What is next week? Next week is Thanksgiving, so all the little minions are home to torture me for the entire week. Uh, who else has kids that are off all week next week for Thanksgiving? we will endure it together. I'm telling you. Let's see who all's in here. I got a chance to at least let y'all know that I was running a few minutes late. I had to pull a Stevie. If you know, you know. We got Marco. We got Ground Fog. What up, Ground Fog? Yep, still late as usual. It's fashionably late. Kathleen, how are you? How are you? That's me letting y'all know. Uh, Eagle Scouts in the house. What's up, man? How are you? Matt Maurer. With that last name, how much do you get messed with over the years? Good to see you, Matt. Everybody having a good week? Anybody get anything new? Anything cool? Anything dramatic happen at the beginning of the week? Or yeah, somewhat Tuesday, I think. No, Wednesday. It happened Wednesday. It happened middle of the week. Wednesday, I almost died again. It was a little bit of a close call. We kind of got lucky. My stepdaughter, who is has been driving for roughly a year now, uh, had a lucky miss where she did not calculate properly in a somewhat busy intersection. Wasn't paying close enough attention, I guess. Was trying to make a left-hand turn and got confused as far as the oncoming cars, whether or not they were in the turning lane or they were in the go straight across lane. So, yeah, they. Luckily, the other vehicle saw my stepdaughter's mistake and stopped, and we did not have a head-on collision, which would have been like my passenger side right here where I was sitting. Their front end would have hit me like that at like a 15-20 degree angle. And I would have gotten the brute force of the impact if the other driver did not completely stop. Oh, about a car length before my stepdaughter decided to finally slow down and ask me what she was supposed to do. And I'm like, well, they obviously stopped. They're going to wait for you to complete your left hand turn, which you should have not made with them trying to go straight across. But, oh, Neil, dude, that question though, Neil, which type of microwave is it? Is it a microwave that sits on the counter, or is it over the range type microwave? Because going from countertop microwave, which ranges from anywhere on the cheap end around $100, maybe a little bit less, to where like the cheap end of a over the range, over the stovetop microwave is like a guaranteed $300 microwave. So okay, so if you were tight on your budget for a new microwave, you could have gone on the cheap and a little less than $100 and gotten a decent microwave. I've had to replace the one over the range, over the stovetop, and yeah, guaranteed 300, almost $400 and that was 3 years ago, roughly. Yeah, about 3 years ago, 2 to 3 years ago. I had to replace that damn microwave. My daughter blew it up, like literally blew it up, trying to warm up a piece of bread, make a hot dog bun. She was defrosting a hot dog bun, and I was watching TV in my room, in which like my room goes directly out to the kitchen area, which I kind of like, but at times I don't like. that setup of being so close to the kitchen, because when people are in the kitchen doing stuff, you hear all of it from in my room. That's kind of annoying. But yeah, there you go. So 110 bucks. Not too bad. I paid almost $400 for mine. But I have a bigger expense staring me in the face right now. If you if anybody bothered to read the caption for this live, my wood lathe is dead. It died. The motor specifically said, "No more. I am done. You've put me through hell and back, and you're not getting anything else out of me." Yeah. So my wood lathe that I make all my beautiful round wood creations is has bit the dust, and I've searched a little bit for a new motor to just replace the motor, because that's really the what's keeping me from being able to use it at this point. And I cannot find the exact motor, and I'm a little nervous about the aftermarket ones out there right now that are floating around $100. They're like 80 to $90. Um, I don't know if any one of those is going to be 100% compatible. Like, I might have to do some reconfiguring, which I don't really have with that lathe. Like, the base of it, the frame of it is casted iron, so I really don't. I don't know. I'm beside myself right now because it literally just happened over the last day and a half that my lathe gave up on me, and just really pissed off about it. I'm like, no, I didn't need this to happen now. Like, if it would have put up with me for like another 3 or 4 pieces, I could wait a month. I could look over the month of December, beginning of January, because I'm not going to do the craft fair that my town does the first Friday of every month. I'm not. I'm gonna do the December one, but I'm not gonna do the January one. I'm gonna be out of town for one, and then two, it's gonna be freaking cold. So I might take a hiatus for the January one and the February one, and come back to it um, March. Yeah, March will still be on the chillier side, but hopefully not too bad. But yeah, so wood creations is kind of on round creations is kind of on pause right now. I did manage to, if you saw my Instagram post just an hour or two ago, I posted a lovely photo of this guy. Check him out. Ain't he rad? Yeah, so a little snowman action here. This is the dark walnut. I don't know exactly what this wood is. I really have no idea. It was a branch that I had cut off of something a long time ago, and it was just like sitting in the corner of the workshop. And I pulled it out and was like, "Hey, let's do something with this." So my little snow buddy here, and I used the wood burner to make all the eyes and the mouth and the buttons on his chest. That's a little bit of paracord that I've frayed out the ends. Just a nice ice blue color. Thought that it was very wintry looking color for paracord. And then his arms are, rather than doing, finding some little twigs in the yard and sanding them up, and like, I thought it would be more durable and look kind of cool using some copper wire strands and doing his arms like that. And he's got a little nosy nose there too. But yeah, he came out pretty cool. I like him, and his hat's just sitting up there just a little crooked, and it's not a perfect hat. He's kind of like got that like old smashed hat, just which what you would do if you had a snowman in the yard is find your grandfather's old top hat that's kind of beat up and worn out and just throw it out there up on top of the snowman, right? So yeah, that's my new snow buddy, and I made a out of the same piece of wood that the snowman's body. I made a little shot glass, so a cool little shot glass, and it's been treated with food grade safe oil, so your butcher block oil, so you can, and it is insanely smooth. It's like velvety smooth on the inside. I did a crap ton of sanding on the inside to get it like that, so that when you put the oil in it, it really gives it as much of a locking barrier. Not 100% waterproof, but so like if you filled this thing up to the brim in water, it would eventually go down after maybe 5, 6, 7 days. It would go down. The wood would absorb some of it extremely slowly. But this is really cool because it's right about the exact same ounces wise of what a standard shot glass is, and so you could actually put hard liquor in here and kick it back. So nice little wood shot glass that I turned. So that's that. And then I also did for a customer, somebody who saw the photos of my other ones and was like, "Oh, could you make one of these for my husband?" I said, "Yeah, all right." Because I really wanted to sell the big one that I have. Been trying to get rid of that thing for forever. I made a real big one of these smoke and drink trays, and that's a two-person smoke and drink tray with 2-cup coasters on it, and I never use it because I'm always by myself when I indulge in that stuff in the evenings. We don't really have company over hardly, like, ever, except for maybe my parents. I don't have a whole lot of friends around town that like to drink. Well, they like to drink, but they don't like to smoke like I do. So yeah. But she asked me if I would make a single one. So here it is. So you have your felt coaster, and then this is those little tiny cast iron skillets that come in the holiday kits for like doing little miniature cookies or baking thingies, that come in a little kit that's usually around $5 at Walmart. So that's what that's from. I just cut off the handle and then put the grooves in there for your cigar, and then that just drops down into this thing. I've got a little magnet right here that I dropped in, but it's not really providing much. I mean, it still falls out. I was hoping that the magnet would like help it from like twisting to help just keep it in line with the grooves, but it's not really doing that like I thought it was hoping it would. But then I did, because the guy that's getting this, she says that he smokes cigarettes too. So I made a little cigarette holder that again has a magnet, and it clicks and magnetizes to the cast iron guy. And so there you have it. So now you got like 3 little grooves for your cigarettes. And it is the wood is your black walnut, and then red oak strips. I had some of that laying around the shop, and I was like, that would look good to do the red oak and the black walnut. So yeah, it came out pretty sweet. I did have like a hole here that was from whatever scrap, whatever this red oak was from, it had some holes in it here and there, and so I did my best to try to cut it up to minimize how many holes. So I really have just this one right here, and I went and filled it with some of the walnut. So it's kind of just like, just a little accent piece where that's been filled. And then I have, I think, yeah, another one is right here, but that gets covered up by the cup coaster. So so you don't really see that. And then that's what the bottom looks like. So you see the one hole there, and then the other hole co- covered up there, and then it had another hole here that, despite me planing it down, I wasn't going to make this board any thinner because then it wouldn't work for routing out the holes to sink in the other pieces. So, eh. And that's the bottom. Nobody sees the bottom, anyways, right? It just sits on the bar. Sits on the bar. I'll put some felt pads, some large felt pads, in all four corners, and it'll be good to go. It'll be good to go. Um, Normally, I like to, when I do the single or when I did the double, I like to just buy a thick cutting board. Because essentially that's what I made, is a cutting board that then has the holes drilled out. I, I dropped the felt guy. Where'd the felt guy go? Hold on a second. Yeah, there it is. Reach, you fat ass. Ooh, too bright. Very bright. Come on, dim. Dim. There we go. Y'all see my shirt has a hole in it right in the armpit. Isn't that terrible? But yeah, so I think this is pretty cool. So I made this. I put all these materials, glued them up, and clamped the shit out of them, and took the handheld router and routed the holes for the cast iron skillet and the felt coaster to go drop into, and did all that myself. Normally, I like to just buy a thick cutting board, a 1 inch thick cutting board, and not have to do all that gluing and clamping up of material. It's just skipping that lengthy step that I don't like doing. But since she's paying for my woodworking abilities, I figured I needed to actually make the board this time, and the two colors looks really good. And I just happened to have some of that material, so uh, normally and again, like I said, I like to go to Ross or Marshalls or wherever, and Beals is another good place to get some dirt cheap cutting boards that are of that right about the right size for that I just have to maybe slim down the dimensions of length and width wise. But yeah, it's just a cutting board. I know. But you make you make something out of it, and it's more than just a cutting board. I plan to do, in keeping the same theme of the light and dark stripes of wood, I was gonna also make some coasters, some cup coasters out of the wood as well. Uh, that's fairly easy to make, and that'll help me use up the scraps that I have left over from making the board. So, and who doesn't need more coasters, right? So another project that I did was not round, was boxes. I've got some boxes that I've made, and I had a friend in town do a little something something on these boxes for me. So as you can see, we got my logo, and then we got Aries EDC's logo. And then his logo's on the back side, sideways. And then I got it on the other side. I don't know, wood's funny, so it's interesting how this end, my logo came out, fairly dark and crisp. But on this end of the wood, Aries logo came out very light. I don't understand why it did that, but it did. Here's on the end, Urban Woodsman 87. This is the logo that's actually on the Wesser. So, designer's mark, Urban Woodsman 87. And then on the lid is the Wesser, which is my knife design that Aries made for me. He made the knife. I did the design. And because Aries, being a custom small shop kind of guy, he does everything just by feel, his fit and finish, and I'm the pain in the butt guy who's all about measurements in precision of measurements. And so he and I we didn't really butt heads, but I care about that when he doesn't. So it's just kind of interesting when we go back and forth in discussion. But here's the Wesser again, and there's his maker's mark. And then you see the Urban Woodsman 87 on that side. That's the designer. So he's actually, I've got him making me a second one where I asked him to go a whopping 1 millimeter, which is super minuscule, thicker here, this way, in this dimension, and this dimension. So 1 more millimeter this way and 1 more millimeter this way. That is the goal. Is close to a millimeter, like 0.7, 0.8 of a millimeter. Just with the idea of improving ergos, just minusculely improving ergos. Again, for somebody who's an engineered mindset that I am, of precision from construction work in the military, in the Navy, that I did, millimeters matter. And so that's, I can't help that. The perfectionist mindset of every measurement has to be precise. That's how my brain works, and Aries' brain does not work that way at all. So today I actually carried the harpoon bloom, the bloom harpoon that he made for me with my Brazilian apatong wood. So you see how this guy's thicker than in the handle. He's thicker. He's more contoured, just a little more contoured. That's all I'm asking Aries to attempt is to make it a little closer to this guy, and hopefully it'll end up being about halfway in between the two. So it'll be what it'll be. I'll be happy regardless. But I'm curious how much of a difference that minuscule difference will make. But yeah, so I made the box, had the box, and I've got some foam padding in it, and I've got one of my hanks in here that Forrest made, and then the other hank is in my back pocket. Has been living in my back pocket pretty much all week. I think last week I carried the bright green one, and then the gray one is tucked away because it is going to the other person that ordered a Wesser, and he will get his own box that is much smaller. This way, height wise, it's much smaller. I made mine so that I can put 2 knives. I'll be able to put both of my Wessers in there, and then the harpoon bloom will end up going somewhere else, but or just one. Anyway, two knives can be stored in this one. The one that's going to Sharif will only have one knife in it. The Wesser that he's having Aries build for him. So I didn't make it as tall. So his is not as tall. Um, the emblems on Sharif's is actually looks a little bit cleaner than this one. It didn't do that on his like it did on mine. But I that's okay with me. I'm glad that it looks better on the one that I'm sending to Sharif. That Sharif will receive his Wesser in the box that I made. And it's funny because I know Fred's here. Pretty Fly for Knife Guys here. What's up? Neil's here. Mick, good to see you. I don't think no. Dang Ross, what's up, Dang Ross? Yeah, B&A's not in here yet. He's not in here now, at least. I don't know if he'll show up or not, but the bottom wood here, this piece, this dark piece, which I thought would be a nice, two-tone accent. No, you didn't miss anything, you little scout, EDC. You didn't miss anything. I'm just talking about my wood and my knives. This, I believe, was gifted to Sharif by B&A, I think, if I remember right. And it was given to him at Blade Show. I don't know. This wood came from somebody who then was handed to somebody else, and then it was with the intention of going to Sharif for Sharif to use for something. I don't know. And Sharif was like, I don't know what I'm going to use it for. I'm not a wood person. And so he gave it to me and said, do something with it, because Sharif really didn't have any plans or ideas of what to do with the wood. So Sharif is slowly getting that wood sent back to him from me in different crafts, different things that I've made for him. So I made him about a year ago. I made some knife display stands, boards that he could use to display his knives on, and he doesn't. I don't think he really uses them. he may have lost them somewhere. I don't know. I've not seen them in a while, so I don't know what he's done with them. But those I incorporated that wood into, and then I've used it for these boxes as well. So he's getting it back. He's getting the wood back that was originally gifted to him. He's just getting it in a different form. It's taking different forms as it gets sent to him. So I just think that's kind of funny. But let's see what else. New knives. Let me tell you, I have not bought any new knives lately. There is here, I'll show it again. I've been checking on this knife at least twice, if not 3 times a day, every day, to see if it'll show up in stock. Oh, there's Bluminati. What's up, Blue? How are you, dude? But this is the next knife that I really want. This is what I have my eyes set out for. It is a GTC Yan collab design, and it's called the Cabot, C-A-B-O-T, Cabot. And that's it says white and red paper. It's red, mostly red paper micarta with zirconium accenting frame there for it. S90V blade, double ground. That's a really cool knife. It just looks sick. And I really, really want. I'm excited to possibly buy this. I want it. I want it. I want it. But yeah, so it's not in stock yet. They sell it. They're selling it at 3 different places, and I think Crane Cutlery here is got the cheapest price tag on it out of 3. Supposedly, Blade HQ is gonna get it. And then I forget what the third website is, but I from somebody I've not heard any good things about. So Crane's Cutlery is supposedly pretty decent, uh, respectable online store to shop from. And they've got some other cool stuff, but that's the knife. That's the next knife that I want. That's the next knife that I want. I did order. I ordered 2 of your Kubi blooms, which one will be a December giveaway. So look forward to that. If you're wanting a Kubi bloom, it'll be in the December's giveaway, which I haven't figured out what weekend. It'll probably be the second Friday. So not the first Friday in December, but the second Friday of December. Because the first Friday I will be at the craft fair thing. So the second Friday will be my first December live that I do, and that's when I'll do our December giveaway. So y'all be ready for that. Save the date. There will be a Kubi Bloom in that giveaway with a bunch of other goodies that I've kind of put together, that I've slowly been putting together. Another thing that I've been making, that I did do a video, posted a very short, very quick video on my channel. Here's Sharice's box. So as you can see, it's not nearly as tall. Yeah, not nearly as tall. And that Aries emblem is good, and that Aries emblem is good. Urban Woodsman 87 emblem is good. The back Aries EDC and all the Urban Woodsmans are good, and the Wesser is good. So yeah, this is Sharice's box that his will go into, and there's the Hank that he'll get. Urban Woodsman Hank. But anyway, so as I was saying, I made some knife display boards. Again, I was just like, having fun with my router, playing around with some newer router bits, and these work great for displaying knives on, and yeah, just a classy way to do it. Felt bottom. So I made 3 of these. So 2 I'm gonna hang on to for now, and Eagle Scout EDC, I plan to send one of them to you, along with your pencil cup holder, pen pencil cup holder, and a couple of knives and a couple of other small goodies. So I got to get that package sent out to you this week. After the weekend. Try to get that out by Tuesday, if you're listening. Yep, there you are. So yeah, I figured since you like to, for your lives, put out on the table all your, not all your knives, but a whole bunch of your knives, I figured this would help kind of stack them up in a way to where you can still see them, but then it gives you more space to put more out if you want. Or on your little tray, on your little stand that where you keep all your knives in all those drawers, you could keep it on the top of that thing, and just have the the knives of the week that you plan to carry for that week could be sitting on this on the top of your storage thing or whatever. You do what you want with it. It's yours. It'll be yours, and I will make sure I get that sent out to you beginning of next week. But there's all that stuff. There's all that stuff. Yep. Yeah, that's it works really nice. Watch y'all watch the video. It's like a 5-minute video. And if you're here listening to me ramble for an hour and a half, you can watch a 5-minute video where I show off these as well as the ones that I made for your phones and your tablets and whatever. So yeah, it's just like a little 4.5, 5-minute video. You probably don't get away with watching the first 3 minutes of it. It'd be good. But I would give that video a little bit more traction if you don't mind. And yeah, so that's what I've been up to. I've been fairly busy in the shop, cranking stuff out. I made a couple of other things. I made another small bowl and something else. Forget what it was. But then Mrs. Urbans had me, dealing with stuff in the house. I had to fix one of the lights that is in the kitchen that comes down in front of the pantry that went out. I guess one of the nasty thunderstorms or something fried the wires. When I took it out, that's what it looked like it happened, that the wires got fried on the little LED ceiling light. So I bought and put a new one of those up. I still need to switch out some freaking light switches in two of the rooms. I hate dealing with electricity. I always get zapped. I'm always getting zapped, whether it's by freaking lightning bolts or electric lights and fixtures or freaking hot fences that are electrified up from my brother's farm. I'm constantly getting zapped from shit. Static electricity when I pick up the kids' blankets and crap. Oh my god. The dryer constantly shocks me. You would think I'd be a more positive guy, You would think I'd be a more positive guy with how much charging up I receive from all these things. But yeah, so the two blooms that I ordered them through. Who did I order them through? Because it was on Aries Live like last weekend or last Thursday or Friday or whatever. I don't remember. But I ordered them that Friday. I think he did like a surprise random live from the shop last Friday. So it's been a week, and I ordered them from Chicago Knife Works, and I want to say that they still have some. So let's see here. I've never bought anything from Chicago Knife Works before, so this is my first experience with them. And supposedly, I guess they're a smaller shop. They're a smaller store. Let's see if they have any blooms left. Yeah, all three of them are in stock. Yeah, let me share Z. There you go. So all three of them are in stock. And I forget what the damn code was. You'd have to look back at that live that Aries spit out the discount code. But I ordered the black one. I kind of wanted to order a blue one, but I was like, I really like the dark burlap color. I think it looks really cool. And I tell you what I'm going to do is on one of them, I'm going to take those scales off and throw on some other material, I don't know if it'll be wood or a combination of wood and carbon fiber or something. I'm gonna make my own scales for one of these and take a crack at doing that myself. Figured I do enough of the woodworking stuff. I sand things and make things round all the damn time. So what? How hard could it be making handle for a fixed blade out of my own materials, chosen materials? So I'm going to take a stab at that, and if I'm pretty successful, if I really like the result, I might make a couple of scales, and for the giveaway, include a second set of scales, some handmade scales by me, if y'all would like. But so I ordered it last Friday, and it still has not shipped. I reached out to them today since it's been a freaking week, and like, hey, I want to check up on this order because I ordered two of these things. I ended up paying like $97 with. Unfortunately, they charge for shipping regardless of what your dollar amount is on your order. You still get charged shipping, so that you have to take that into account. That they are one of those small companies that, yeah, no free shipping for nobody. But yeah, I called them today. Finally got a hold of somebody. I had to call like 3 or 4 times to finally get an actual person. And they're like, "Oh yeah, well, yeah, we're a small group of people. You got to give us about 5 to 7 business days to get things sent out, and let me get your order put together and send you some tracking info in an email tomorrow." I'm like, okay, thank you. So yeah, 7 to 10 business days for them. See here they say, due to a recent increase in order volume, non-expedited orders are currently being processed within 4 to 5 business days. Yeah, well, today is day 5 as far as Monday through Fridays go. If you don't count your weekends, but you are open, your hours, you have hours of being open on at least Saturday. Let's see. Yeah, I know they have hours of being open on Saturday. So do you count Saturday? I don't know. So I was just a little bothered by how long it's taking them. I mean, I get, if you're just just a handful of people and have high volumes of orders because of this time of the year, but still, like, really, it just makes me all that much more inclined to purchase my stuff from White Mountain Knives, and pretty much that's who I buy stuff these days. Like, I don't remember the last time I haven't bought anything from Blade HQ in freaking forever. Haven't gotten usually anything from Smoky Mountain Knife Works in freaking forever. Um, and that's a long time ago. That's who I usually went to. Were those two companies? White Mountain Knife Works has been my jam. They've been my go-tos for the most part. But they supposedly got some good deals on some things that other websites do not have. So that's always interesting. Here's the concept. I've looked at this thing before. I'm not a curved, recurve bladed, hawkbill type guy. That's just not my jam. Not my jam. I like the hawkbill. But we all know that he does. Mr. Satisfaction, he likes his hot fills. I wonder if he has this time. 3-inch blade. Oh, I'll be right back. Let me grab my beer out of the out of the freezer. So your darker lagers, I like. Well, most of my beers I like, but especially your darker lagers, like the Sam Adams Oktoberfest. It's it's still a medium amber lager, but it's a little on the darker side. It's not quite a dark beer, but it is on the darker side of things. But I like them just a little extra cold. So not ice slushy cold, but cold. That's how I prefer my beers. But yeah. So hopefully those blooms will come in sometime mid to late next week. Are there any good deals on Amazon right now? I'm a little disappointed by Harbor Freight's Black Friday. Hoodie weather. I don't know what was funny. I'm not funny. Y'all think I'm funny. But yeah, I was a little disappointed in Harbor Freight's Black Friday flyer. They really don't have anything spectacular. None of their stuff on their sales is anything I need right now. That's on a heavy discount. What I need is a freaking lathe. That's what I need. I kind of want to go with the newer Harbor Freight lathe. That's bigger. I definitely want to go bigger. Hey, brown sugar. Um, I do want to go get a bigger lathe. That is for sure. I don't want a massive lathe, but I do want a bigger lathe. I want to be able, because the lathe that I've had for these last 12 years can really only do something that's got about a 5.5, maybe close to a 6-inch diameter. As far as being able to get the tool rest piece underneath it, it's an 8 by 12 lathe, but the tool rest slides along this platform is about 1 7/8 inches tall. So that pretty much basically takes away 2 inches from that 8-inch diameter. So it's realistically I can't turn anything bigger than 6-inch diameter because of needing to be able to slide that tool rest underneath it to get all, both sides of the bowl without having to take it off and flip it around and do all that crap. So I'd like to almost double that diameter. I'd like to be able to make 10, 11-inch diameter bowls. I'd love to be able to make that size bowls. So Harbor Freight does not make the lathe that I have that's now broken. They don't make it anymore. It's retired. It doesn't exist. And that's why it's a pain in the ass to try to find another motor for it, because they don't make it, they don't sell it, nobody's got any extra parts for it. So this is the next size up that has a variable speed, and I like the variable speed. I like being able to, without having to take the cover off and move belts every single time I want to run it at a different speed, rotation speed. I can just twist that dial knob, and I can have that range from, 1,000 RPMs to 3,500 RPMs without having to mess with the belt. And that's Mrs. Urban, who can't ever remember whether or not I'm doing a live on Friday. But so if you see here, the way they do this belt, this one has a 3 belt position, but you still have the variable speed. So in the lowest belt position, you go from 60 rotations per minute to 720 is the max out with the belt in the lowest gear setting. Then you move it up to the middle one, you get 150 to 1700, and then you get your high, which basically I run all my shit in that high. That gives me my largest range, going from a whopping 300 rotations per minute all the way to 3,500. I like to usually when you start off with your blank, if it's square or if it's round, like a log or something, your chunk of wood, when you start off, I tend to have its half speed, so it's sitting somewhere around 1,000 to 1,200 rotations per minute, and then I clean it up and true it up, and then so that it's ready to be shaped in whatever shape I want to create. And then once I get to that point, then I crank it up to anywhere between 2,000 and 3,000 rotations per minute, and that's my working speed when I'm trying to shape the item that I'm trying to make. That's my working speed, and so then I bring it back down to about somewhere between 300 and 500 rotations per minute when I'm doing the rough sanding, and starting off with the rough sanding and then my medium sanding, and then the last bit of fine sanding, I crank it down to pretty much 200 to 300 rotations per minute. So if I bought this lathe, I would have it in that high belt mode pretty much the whole time. I don't think I'd ever change the belt. But that's where the little high to low variable speed knob is. You have forward and you have reverse, because what you can do with this lathe is you can swappy this guy right here, and you can actually take this guy off and put him over there and have a piece on the outside here and turn something on the outside, and that would give you a little bit bigger of a diameter. I believe that's how this lathe is set up. There's where the belt is. See, he looks like me. Not really. I don't understand why he's turning something so high up, so close to his face. Like, I've never, if you watch other wood turners, they do not have their lathe set up that freaking high, that tall. You have no strength of control, of precision control with that chisel in your hands, with your arms bunched up like that. Like, that's just a terrible. I don't know anybody who turns with their lathe that freaking high up. That's just not the right height that you want. Yeah, no, I don't know why. I think they just threw it on top of a, workbench and said, "Hey, come stand here for some photos." Now this photo, it's lower. This photo is lower. See how he's got his elbows not, it's greater than a 45-degree angle, not less than a 45-degree angle. So this is actually a more appropriate height for the tool. See how here he's got, that's not even a 45. And like, look at this elbow right here. He's got that at maybe like a 33 to 38 degree angle right there. That's not, yeah, that's not how. No, he's gonna hurt himself. He's gonna hurt himself. But yeah, I would. This is the size lathe that I want, and I would feel safe buying it from Harbor Freight because I know their Bauer products are pretty solid and last a good while. And hell, the one that I have that's lasted me 12 years, a little over 12 years, that's a Central Machinery one, which is even a lower grade quality than what the Bauer is. And I got 12 years out of that thing, and I paid like maybe $200 for it, 180, $200 for it back then, which would be like 350 nowadays with inflation. So this bad boy's $600. I really don't want to spend $600 right now. I really, really freaking don't. You're playing a game, Terry. What are you doing? Playing a game where you soak a coated SE blade in winks, in winks for 15 minutes to see what happens. What are you doing? What are you doing? So let's see what Black Friday has. Does anybody know of any really good Amazon Black Friday deals are out right now? Because that's what I'm looking for. Is a new lathe. But does Black Friday have any good deals? That's the question. I also need a new computer mouse. This computer mouse has been giving me shit for like the last handful of months. Everything I own is just starting to fall apart all at the same damn time. Same damn time. But here's if I punch in wood lathe for Black Friday deals, what am I getting here? What am I getting? And again, the Harbor Freight one is a 14 by 20. I want something that's at least that in size, but I prefer like I don't need this 20 by 35. Hell, look at the price tag on that. My budget is under. I'm trying to find something that's somewhere around the $450, $500 price range, or cheaper. That's good quality. So I'm hoping to find a really really sweet deal. And my criteria is that it's got to be like, here's the win, which is very similar in design to what mine is. Um, like I'd be tempted to see if when if they got sell replacement motors for this win lathe, because it looks almost identical to the Harbor Freight one. Like they look freaking identical. See, it's got its variable speed is 750 to 3200 RPMs. 750 is a little high for its low end. Yeah, like this is exactly how mine looks. It's a carbon footprint, like they were made in the same shop, and it's $200 right now, and that 8 by 13 is what this one is. The Harbor Freight one that I have is 12, 8 by 12. So whoopee, get a whopping extra length of one more inch in length. So what is this model? That one is a non-variable, so it's probably a five. It's probably like a 3 or 5 speed. No, it's the variable. It's the same one. I don't. That's 3.2 amp. This is the 2022 model. Is that also a 3.2 amp? Yeah, it is. I don't know what the difference is, but anyways, they got this one on sale. 8 by 13. I'd really love to have at least that 14-inch diameter. Mrs. Urban is texting me, and I'm not answering because I'm shopping with y'all in tow. And that's pretty much it for Black Friday. The deal is inspired by. I thought I saw one. Let's just do regular Amazon, not Prime. Type that with So there's a 12 by 18. I really wanted something for 8 to 12, only 4 more inches, which really only gives you about 2 inch diameter. So that's really bringing me to about an 8 inch diameter of capabilities. I want to be able to make something wider than just 8 inches. I mean, 8 inches is pretty good, but if I'm going to spend over $300, $400. Hey, here we go. Here's a win. They got a 4.6 review. Again, they look like just like, but this is yeah. So this is the 5 speed. So I don't like this because in order to every time you want to be at a different speed, so you have 5 speeds. So you have to every time you want to run it at a different speed, you got to move the belt. I don't like the idea of having to do that. 520, 900, 1400, 2150, or 3400 RPMs. Yeah, I don't want to have to do that. I want that variable speed, that little knob. I can just quickly, instantly, just twist it and it changes the speed. Delta makes some really nice lathes. I think my dad's first lathe was a Delta, maybe. This Vivor brand, they're kind of promising. See, that's a point 0.5 horsepower motor. Oh, it's a 5 speed. It's not variable. Yeah, it needs to be variable. See, this guy, I don't trust this guy. It's only got 3.7 stars. That's enough. So the Win branded one that's um, 6 amp, 14 by 20 variable speed. that looks just like the Eddie Bauer, or the not Eddie Bauer, the Bauer branded one. It looks just like it. They've got it for 612.69. It's the same one as the Harbor Freight one, and it's $12 more. So yeah. Yeah, I don't see anything. What is this one? That's a no name, no brand, no guarantee that it's gonna work for more than what I need it to do. So here's a 12 by 18. Again, that only gives me an 8-inch diameter, or 10. Only gives me a 10-inch diameter turning diameter. It's a 5-speed though, 5-speed. 5-speed, 5-speed. I want variable. Shop lathe attachment for your drill press. Lathe attachment for your drill press. Huh. Okay. Huh. So then you turn your drill press into a lathe that's vertical instead of horizontal. That would mess with my mind. trying to trying to turn something vertically. That would be terrible. I'd totally f that up. That would be too weird for me. Hmm. Jet is another really good. Delta and Jet. Jet is a very respected. Yeah, these two. Here's the Jet 10 by 15. $607. $607 for 10 by 15. I feel like at this point, if I want to replace my lathe within the next couple of weeks, I'm gonna end up having to get the Harbor Freight one. I just feel like I'm stuck in that position, which I hate. See, I have no idea if this is respectably gonna be in. It's only got a 3.6 star rating. I don't know. What do y'all think I should do? I know most of y'all are like, why are we looking at lathes? Why aren't we looking at knives? Because this is what I need to do right now. I need to. I'm so mad. I'm so mad that my lathe broke. Oh, I'm just so frustrated, and I'm just like, I need to. I've got projects. I've got like three more projects glued up, ready to go, ready to get put on the lathe, and I don't have a working lathe. So this I viewed earlier. This was the replacement motor and mounting block, and then the electrical box that goes with it. So this was what I was looking at as, and it says a variable speed lathe conversion kit. So this is designed to take your 5-speed belted lathe and make it a variable speed lathe. But that's I it would probably work, but I don't know. And they want $219 for it. I might as well just buy a new lathe for $219. They're crazy. See, this is a 10 by 18 for $339. I don't know this brand, Bricon. They got 5 stars, so they must be pretty respectable. Power Tech, that looks like another imitation of the Harbor Freight's Bauer. This is a 10 by 18. It's a 5-speed. It's a 5-speed. I'm just so butthurt. y'all, y'all can laugh it up at how miserable I feel right now that my lathe is broken, and I've got things to turn on it, and I don't have it. I don't have one. Oh, it's so bad. Ah, this sucks. Here's a 12 by 12. It's just a 5-speed, not a variable. I need variable speed. Mmm. Mmm. This is so frustrating. Y'all know what I'm going to end up doing, right? At this point, you know what I'm going to end up doing. Over the weekend here, I'm going to probably most likely end up buying the Harbor Freight one. I'm going to end up spending the 600 bucks bitterly, but knowing that that's what I'm going to have to do. That's what I'm going to have to do. Anybody want to donate 300 bucks? Y'all want to help me out? Where's Ed and all his extra dollars that he has? Oh, Joseph. Yes, there's Mrs. Urban. And that's what I said. I said you can never remember whether or not I'm live on Friday nights. And to your defense, Mrs. Urban, there are enough. There's at least one Friday every month I do not do a live because of the craft fair thing. But also, like last Friday, I ended up actually crashing. I fell asleep. Like I had an awful bad headache, an awful terrible headache last Friday, and I also like didn't know what to talk to you guys about. There was nothing new going on, and I had that awful headache, and I was not up for it. I was not up for it. Oh, so you're chemically stripping the powder coat. Be careful. Don't snort that shit and pass out. There's B&A. B&A. Yeah. Not Riley. Grab that one of those boxes that's over there. Yeah, just the top one right there. Yep. Bring it. B&A. Answer me this. Do you remember, was this wood that was in two slabs, two sheets of this wood? Was this the wood that Sharif was given to at Blade Show 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago? That did it come from you? Was this what came from you? That Sharif then gave to me at Blade Show? Because I think it was, but I can't remember whether it was you or it was maybe one of the other guys. Who are you laughing at? What are you laughing about? What's so funny to you? Oh, go put that back. Not from you. Okay. Then who was it that it was somebody else that then in the community that gifted it to Sharif then. I forget who it was. Totally forget. What do you want? Get out of here. Yeah, get out of here, man. Suburban over here. Good kid. All right, shoo. Shoo. Bye. No, do not take my water because I'm gonna need it here. Here, I've got I want to show y'all. I have on White Mountain Knives, one of their newer knives. I have a bone to pick with them that I am not happy about. I'm not mad, but I just feel like they missed their mark on it. Anybody pick up one of these Meteor brand knives? Meteor knives? Here, let me share so that you can see what I'm talking about. So on White Mountain, this Meteor knives, the Hurricane is one model, and then the Kazan or Kazan is another model of theirs. They're new. They're a new brand, new company, and I'm kind of curious whether or not they're putting out good stuff. They're using M390, so if you talk to Sharif, he's going to be like, "Well, it's probably heat treated really, really bad, and you're just throwing your money away for garbage M390." I know. He don't sound anything like that. But so yeah, Six Leaf stepping up their game. Look at that. Look at that. Damascus blade looks pretty sick. And then that the anode job on the titanium hand. They call it the lightning pattern. Yeah. The SL86. I don't like thumb studs. Those thumb studs are gross, yucky thumb studs. The pocket clip is also anode. That's cool. Yeah, I don't like the thumb studs. But I forget who it was. Somebody put up a knife. The Kaiser Shrike. That's a very interesting design. Like where the folding, where the forward choil and the top of the frame meets this top of the spine there, in that where it's narrow on both ends. I don't know how the ergos end up being with that, whether or not that's a good or a bad ergos with that design. Here's the Bestech Wet Nelly. That's a pointy, slender knife. What's the blade length on those? That looks like a long ass blade. No, 3.5-inch blade. So not even a 4-inch blade. Very pokey, stabby, stabby. Yeah. Aggie cut. $255. Not bad, Bestech. Not bad. What did everybody carry today? Anybody have a sick carry today? I don't know if it's the weather or what, but like I've been having trouble getting enough sleep. Like I'm just really tired by 9 o'clock. They got all these different fin rears out again, so Canable doing the fin rears. Here it is. Here it is, the Civivi. The Civivi Outlaw Muck folding knife, okay? I did a video on a really good folding knife with the Nesmuck blade shape. And I have him right here. So the Nesmuck was always meant to be a fixed blade. the Nessmuck blade shape was designed originally way back when, during the pioneering days of the gold rush and westward expansion and everything. The guy that I forget what his name is, um, old fart guy. He designed a modified a a bushcrafting fixed blade that he had that was a large fixed blade, um, and cut it down and reshaped it and grinded it out to a what is considered a Nessmuck blade shape. And he did it as a fixed blade. It was always originally designed and meant to be used as a fixed blade, great for your smaller bushcrafting, outdoors work, uh, campfire stuff, um, uh, skinning game works well as a skinning knife, and that's what that blade shape is was designed to be for those uses. Really good in at those particular uses. And so for anybody doing a folder, when somebody takes a fixed blade design that was meant to be and designed to be used in a fixed blade and make it a folder, you have to do it only makes sense to me that if you're going to take a common fixed blade pattern and turn it into a folder, you have to use a really strong lock. You have to use one of the stronger lockup mechanisms because that blade's purpose is to be used for stuff that a fixed blade is used for, not folders. So you need strong lockups. So when Urban Indie Seed Supply did this guy, the Nessie, they did a beefy frame lock, which has, and they do really good jobs with their frame locks and having a thicker frame lock, not a little thin frame lock. But this has a really solid lockup and is a good harder using folder with that Nessmuck blade shape. So it irritates me that somebody like Civivi would do that Nessmuck blade shape. Again, they modified it a little bit with it being a crappy ass little button lock. Like, why? Why did they make this a button lock? That irritates the heck out of me. Like, no. That should have been a frame lock, or maybe even a top liner lock. Would have been much better, much more secure lock than a stinking button lock. Bad Civivi. No. That really bothers me. Like, I'd be tempted with 10% off of $63.75 if this was a top liner lock or even a frame lock. I'd be really tempted to get it because I do like that blade shape. And the handle has a nice natural curve that looks quite ergonomically friendly. But no, they ruined it with that button lock. Civivi, I'm sorry, but button locks are not great. They're okay for light use knives, but not for something that you're then going to go and whittle a stick by the fire. I don't know if I would trust that button lock for doing something like that. Making wooden stakes for tent or tarps. I don't trust that button lock for that kind of outdoor activity, outdoor use. Let's see, where's it at? Luke 10 Lieutenant Tex, Mark, he did the why am I having I'm having a stupid brain fart on the name of this knife? What's the name of this thing? The wingspan or something like that? That is a Nessmuck inspired blade shape. That is a little similar to a Nessmuck. It's like a crisscross between a Nessmuck and a sheep split, in my opinion. It's kind of like a Nessmuck and a sheep split had a baby. Um, but yeah, really like this blade shape. I really dig this blade shape. I very much like this knife. And this is called the wingspan, right? But yeah, very much like this knife. And it's got a yeah, it's a hollow grind. Yeah, that's right. He did a hollow grind on them. Yeah, I always feel like I need to carry this guy because it is a great blade shape. It's a great knife, and it's a liner lock. It's a liner lock. It's like a gentlemanly Nessmucky inspired folder. So it's not really a Nessmuck blade. Um, but at least it's a liner lock and not a button lock. I don't know. I'm so over button locks. I don't know how y'all feel about it, but I am absolutely sick and tired and done with freaking button locks. Oh, okay. So Bluminati carried a crap ton of stuff today. The Kusumi, that's the giveaway that he won from me. The random you pick the knife giveaway to enable cryo. Cryo is pretty cool. The Renegade Gom, great knife. Kind of wish I had one. The Tempest Thunderhead, not bad. Devo Fireball, ooh. I like Fireball, but at the same time I don't like Fireball. It's a good knife though. The QSB Hedgehog, excellent. Little folder. I say little folder. It's got a 3-inch blade, I believe, but it's kind of stubby in its design, so it looks smaller than it is, I would say. And a Moore Maker Trapper in a Terry's slip. Very nice. A Baton 4 and Top Dog / New Breed EDC Forest Hanks. Wow. That's one heck of a carry. And where's the Raptor? Or the question, Bluminati, do you keep a picture of your Indoraptor design folded up and in your pocket with you every day? Because I would think that you would. I would almost think that you would, man. Like that would be hilarious. Like if Aries won't make it for me yet, but at least I'll have it in design in one-dimensional spirit while having it a drawing folded up and put in my pocket. Oh, you had the Raptor and Crow? That's right, you got that Crow. You lucky bastard. I am so excited. Aries Scott is getting those blades back from Heat Treat next week, probably Wednesday or Thursday, and he'll start working on those. And I'm sure, I believe he's probably planned on finishing my Wester first, so that it is ready to go for our December meetup. so that I can pick it up from him then and there, and that way he doesn't have to ship. Saves him like $6 or $7, so that he doesn't have to ship it to me. He can just bring it, and I'll get it from him then. And also I prefer him. I would like it to go that way. Not just for saving him money, but for the both of us to be able to show it off to everybody at the meetup is what I would like. I would be tickled to have that go that way, that everybody there gets to see. I mean, I'll bring if he ends up not finishing it by then, or he ends up just sending it to me sooner, then that's okay. I'll end up bringing it. Regard, I'll bring if he's not finished with the second one by then I'll bring my first one, the OG, the red one. So yeah. But then I'm also hoping that he'll get those Baja rock hoppers done. At least one of them. Oh, I want one of those Baja rock hoppers so bad. So bad. But I gotta buy a lathe right now. I have the money. I have it all saved up. I've got a nice little nest egg tucked away. That I've been behaving by not pulling from any of it. I've been behaving by leaving my nest egg alone. I've just not really been able to add to it over the months because I've had these expenses. Oh, Bloom, you don't are you serious? You don't know what the Baja Rock Hopper is? Aries, it has the rock hopper, which is his design. And he's got those the Mexican blanket micarta scale material. It's not the same one that other companies. It's different. It's slightly different than the standard Mexican blanket look. You'll have to go back and watch one of his videos where he shows off the scales, because the scales they're awesome. But yeah, so the rock hopper. Let me see on Instagram if I can pull it up. What's the matter, Mrs. Urban? Oh yeah, me too.
And I had to go to Walmart. Somebody wanted ice cream.
And you probably got the wrong ice cream. She didn't tell you what kind? Okay. All right. Illuminati. Here's the rock hopper. Here's one of his older rock. He's not made too many of them, but here's one of his previous ones. I guess Casey. I guess Knives Fast has this one, or maybe this was this the pass around one? I don't remember. But look at that. It's beautiful sheep's foot blade, nice curved, ergo friendly handle, just great looking knife. And it's got that 2.5 inch blade, so it's pretty much the same. It's almost exactly, the handle's a little shorter than the bloom. It's just a little bit shorter than the bloom. Here's another one. Yeah, so again, it's got like it's got a 2.5 inch blade, and I think this was, I want to say, his first one, the first rock hopper he made, where he did the wood scales, and they're a little bit smaller than the than the tang of the blade. But yeah, it's a sweet little knife. And like I said, he's got I think they're gonna just be satin and the handle material that he's using is this specialty um, Mexican blanket type micarta. I'm so excited for it. So excited for it. It's gonna be super cool. And he's making two of them. So fingers are crossed. I'll be able to get. Really, really hope I can get one. But all right, it's almost 9:20. I don't really have anything else for y'all to share with y'all. I know I wanted to talk about how mad I was at Civivi for doing a damn button lock on that thing. And there's really not any new knives out there that I'm have any desire for, which is good. It's a good thing because I don't have the money to spend on them. Oh, the Nebula. Have y'all seen? Have y'all seen this one? The QSP Nebula. Isn't that gorgeous? It's got mirror polished blade, and that's stabilized wood. And it's got some like purple and bluish purple, like purple and like orangish, pinkish, yellowish stuff going on with it. That's a very neat colors on that stabilized wood. Natural, of course, that's not natural wood. Like it's been colored that way. But yeah, that's a pretty one for less than $100. That's pretty fancy dancy. It's even got some material on the pivot head. I just don't like how the the blade stock with the flipper tab. I don't like you see how the handle is completely rounded. I wish that the blade stock there with the flipper tab was in that same rounded, like it should mirror that, like literally because the blade's mirror finished, but it should mirror the same curve as the end of the handle there. Personally, that's how I feel about that. Again, as somebody who pays attention to those kind of details, and Sharif and I are very, very on the same page as far as how we look at lines and ergos. We're both very in tune with each other in those particular areas with those particular things, and I know he would agree with me. Like he would want that flipper tab part on that blade stock to be just a smooth, rounded shape that mimics the curve of the handle. And so I feel like they missed on that one. It just would have looked a lot prettier, design wise, because that's just like a straight line right there. It's just a straight line, and there's no straight lines anywhere. Well, besides the spine, but like it just doesn't fit with the rest of the curves. The rest of the design flow is it doesn't fit. But whatever. I just felt like that missed the mark there. Well, okay, I'm gonna stop rambling. I'm gonna call it quits because I keep yawning now. And maybe I'll see y'all in other lives this weekend. I don't know. I'm working this weekend at Loge, and possibly doing something about this lathe issue. I don't know. We'll see.
Putting up Christmas decorations.
And the wife wants to jump the gun on putting up Christmas decorations. Y'all feel free to tell Mrs. Urban no. That's against the rules.
So we're not doing it. No.
Well, you can do most of it without me because I'll be at work. All right. Y'all take care. Cheers. Have a good weekend. Be safe. Don't do anything crazy. I'm out here. Peace.